wrestling, gumbo to grits, politics to poetry, and all things Southern in between, this is Take on the South. Produced by the Institute for Southern Studies in the McCausland College of Arts and Sciences at the University of South Carolina, Take on the South explores the highs and lows of the American South, examines the truth and fictions of the country's most distinctive region, and picks the brains of some of its most accomplished students. To understand the South, you need to take it on, and that's what we'll be doing. Join us as we take on the South. Regular listeners and viewers to this podcast will recall how earlier this year we interviewed the former lead singer of REM, Michael Stipe, also known as The Voice. If Michael Stipe was the voice of the South, today's guest might reasonably be considered the eye of the South. After today's episode, I think you'll agree. Our guest is Jeff Blake. Jeff is a seasoned photojournalist based in Columbia, South Carolina, with extensive experience in various photography fields. He worked as a photojournalist at the state newspaper in Columbia, has many years of experience. He graduated from the University of Georgia. Fine place, I'm sure.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs, of course, yeah. With a major in newspaper journalism and an emphasis in photojournalism. His work has been featured in prominent publications, Sports Illustrated, ESPN, USA Today, The Washington Post, The New York Times, the list goes on. He's received numerous awards, including the South Carolina General News Photo of the Year and Photo Essay of the Year. Jeff, welcome to Take on the South.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, not at all. Look, I mean, we could have done this interview in any number of ways, simply because you've photographed so many famous people in so many different settings, from Tiger Woods to presidents, and we could have had a conversation about that. But you were kind enough to indulge my request, largely because I do want to have you back on the program to talk about those other photographs.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But my request for today was a bit specific.
Mm-hmm.
And you agreed to it because this is going to launch our autumn podcast season, and we're going to begin it with football. And what I did is I asked you to select your 5 favorite photographs that you've taken over the years of Gamecock football. And you've kindly agreed to do this. But before we get into your top 5, all of which are gorgeous photographs and really interesting, and I want you to tell us about them, can you tell us about your work with Gamecock football? I mean, how long have you been doing this with them?
Right. So I moved to Columbia, South Carolina in 2005 to take a job with the state newspaper, and one of my jobs with the state newspaper was coverage of all Gamecocks major sports, and that includes football. So starting in 2005, I started covering Gamecock football, and as well as Clemson football. I would go up to Clemson a lot and cover their games as well.
Oh, because it's for the state newspaper,
yeah,
so you had to cover the
exactly,
state.
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. One year I was the primary Clemson beat photographer for the Clemson football team. So road games, home games, I would cover all their games. That was the year that Dabo took over. Wow. But for the most part, since 2005, it's been primarily Gamecocks football.
Okay. And so you were doing other sports as well, though, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like soccer and...
Yeah. When the USC soccer teams make the postseason, I photograph those games. And
you're a busy man.
Yeah. The men's and women's basketball teams, cover all their home games, and any others. And then for the state newspaper, I do a lot of the USC baseball games, sometimes the softball games, any other sport that's newsworthy.
God, man, that's a lot of work, a lot of travel too.
Yeah, and it's mostly local now.
Okay.
Back in my younger days, I traveled a lot, but now I like to keep it in Columbia as much as possible.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. So there we are. You're primarily covering Gamecock football now, right? Because it's local, and you've earned the right to do this. Before we get into your pictures, I'm just curious. So on game day, you turn up.
Yep.
Where can you go to take your photographs? I mean, what are your limits? Where do you have free reign to go anywhere?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
Before the game, we're not allowed. Before the game, they'll have all their recruits on one end of the field. So during warm-ups, we're not allowed on that end of the field. They don't want us interacting with the recruits.
Okay.
But other than that, we kind of have free reign of the field pregame. And then once they set up for the 2001 entrance, all the band is lined up and everything. We can run out onto the field and stand beneath the band members and get photos of them making their 2001 entrance. Okay. The first photo that we'll talk about is the 2001 entrance. And over the past 20 years, I've tried to photograph it from pretty much every aspect, every corner of the stadium, just to try to get something different. Because you can only shoot it the same way so many times before you get bored, and you want to mix it up and try to get something different. Yeah. But and then during the games, we're not allowed behind the benches.
Okay.
Other than to go from one end of the field to the other, so we have to stay on the sidelines, and it's between the 25-yard line and the back of the end zone on the sidelines. A lot of football stadiums, you're allowed to stand in the back of the end zone because of the way that Williams-Brice is set up with the hedges right at the baseline of the end zone. We're not allowed to stand at the back of the end zone.
It's a bit dangerous.
It's a bit dangerous, yeah. There's nowhere to run if a football player were coming right at you.
Have you ever been hit?
Oh, yeah, many times.
Oh, yeah. Painfully, then. I mean, these are big people, right?
Yeah, they're big people. Not too bad. One time I was shooting at the Tennessee football stadium back when I worked in Athens, and I covered Georgia football for the Athens Banner-Herald, and they had a famous wide receiver named Peerless Price, and he got shoved out of bounds and into me, and I had cameras on both my shoulders, and they both went flying. And when I got home, this was in the answering machine days, I had about 12 messages of people saying that they'd shown the replay a dozen times of my cameras flying up in the air.
So is that the first hit, really?
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Okay,
Yep, that was my younger days. And then like the corner of Williams-Brice Stadium where they make their 2001 entrance, it's really, really narrow.
Yeah.
The distance between the corner of the end zone and the back wall there where they come out to do the 2001 entrance is only about 5 or 6 feet. So a lot of time you'll have wide receivers doing fade passes, and they run out of the corner, and they're running right at you, and there's not really anywhere to run. So you've always got to keep your head on a swivel and be ready to move at any moment. Yeah,
sure.
I've never been injured. Knock on wood. I've seen friends get run over and be injured. We had a photographer at the state newspaper named Eric. He was covering a high school game at Memorial Stadium off of Rosewood, right where we play soccer, and he got run over and broke a leg. We a couple years ago at a Georgia game, there was a student photographer that got run over, had to be hospitalized.
Oh, my word.
There's been a couple years ago, there was at a high school game in another state, there was a photographer who unfortunately got run over and hit her head on concrete and died.
Good Lord.
So you definitely have to be on the lookout.
How many other photographers are with you on a typical game day?
They usually credential about 30 to 40 photographers.
That's a crowded.
It is.
I mean,
yeah. So you got 30 or 40 other photographers. You can't be behind the benches, so you've only got basically the corners on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And then we call them the hangers on. The rich folks that donate a lot of money, and so they're allowed on the sidelines during the game.
And they can take photographs too.
Not technically, but they not legally.
They do.
They do, and they step out in front of you during important parts. Some guy stepped in front of me one time during a play, and I yelled, "Hey, jerk, get out of the way!" And he turned around, and it was Hulk Hogan. It's like, okay, you can step in front of me if you want.
And the body slam followed soon thereafter.
Right, yeah.
Touchdown.
Yes.
Right. I'm sure he's very, very polite about it.
Yeah, he just kind of looked at me like,
Who are you?
I could squish you like a bug.
Man, Jeff, I always knew you're a man of courage, but looking up at a 6'8" bloke saying, "Hey, jerk, get out of the way."
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
dear. All right. How many photographs would you say you've taken over the years?
Millions and millions and
Millions.
millions. Yeah, at a typical football game, I'm taking thousands of photos.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So when I asked you, can you choose your favorite 5?
Right.
I was like, oh, dear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like I said, it's like choosing your children, right?
Yeah.
I've got a lot of photos I like, but to narrow them down is pretty hard.
Well, I love your selections, and we'll go through them. And so in each instance, I kind of want to know some about context. So your first one, your number 5, right? This is not your number 1. We're going to build up to number 1.
There you go. Yep.
But this is your 5th favorite of all time in the millions of photographs that you've taken.
Right.
And as you mentioned earlier, it's the 2001 moment when they're coming out of the Tommy Suggs entrance, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's fantastic. But what spoke to you about this photograph?
Right. Like I mentioned earlier, I try to shoot this from different angles every game, and This is kind of my favorite angle. I'm shooting up in the stands. I go up there, about 15 minutes before the game starts, and I try to find some nice people, and I say, "Hey, do you mind if I kneel in front of you?"
Okay.
And most people are usually fine with that. And
Unless the Hulk Hogan, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
right, yeah. Right. Yep. And then I kneel down in front of them so I don't block their view, and I use a wide angle to try to get the entire view of the stadium as much as possible. And I like this one because it's at twilight, so you've got the sky is starting to darken, so you can really see the flames and you can really see the fireworks. And when they first started doing these shooting flames, they had the biggest problem getting both of them to fire. Like the first 3 or 4 times I tried to get the shot, only one flame would fire, or all the players would be out there and then they'd finally fire. So they just had a bunch of misfires until
The two fires either side of the entrance.
Yes,
Oh, I see.
yes, they had the hardest time getting that. They only started doing that maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and so once they finally got the routine down and got them to fire at the right time and at the same time, it made my job a lot easier as far as getting photos and stuff. Yeah. And I like how the flames kind of light up the crowd and the marching band around them and the smoke.
I think this picture just captures Carolina game in a really. It's got that Carolina blue. Mm-hmm. It's that time of night. Yep. You can feel the anticipation. You can almost hear this photograph, right? What year was that taken in? Do you remember?
2024. So season before last, yeah.
Okay, so I think this is fantastic. Yep. That's number 5. Moving on. Mm-hmm. Your number 4 choice out of the millions is what is going on here?
Right. So this was in 2022 against Texas A&M. We've got the Aggies quarterback. That's Haynes King. He's getting hit by South Carolina linebacker Gilbert Edmond, and his hit is causing the quarterback to fumble the ball. And so I like that it's peak action. You can see the ball coming out of Haynes King's hand right as he's getting hit, and he's getting squashed by another linebacker, Gilbert Edmond, there. So
yeah, that's what I call imminent pain.
Yes,
you can see what's going to happen in this photograph.
Yep. And I got this whole series, and the next couple frames after that are him getting squished, but the ball has popped out of the frame. So I chose this one because it was the most peak action, and this was I believe it was an upset win. So this was a big picture that just kind of describes it. I want my photos to describe what happened in the game.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll get lots of photos of South Carolina doing well and they'll lose, or vice versa. I won't get a lot of great photos of them doing well, but then they'll win, and doesn't really tell the story. So when the photos also collaborate with the story, that's the perfect combination.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the philosophy that's underwriting this. So for you, this picture is powerful because it captures the story of that game at a very precise moment.
They harassed the quarterback all game, and it helped them to win, if I remember correctly.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, talking of which, is the next picture your number 3 from that same game? Or is it a different game?
Let's see. This was against Tennessee. I had said Texas A&M earlier, but I meant Tennessee.
Okay, so hang on a minute. So number 4 was this victory against Texas A&M, which I remember.
Yep.
That was a great game.
Yep.
Number 3. What year is number 3 from?
2022. It's when Tennessee came in highly ranked, I believe, and South Carolina upset them. The fans stormed the stadium, and this is linebacker Colin Bryant, and I just love the style that this fan has. He is like one of the coolest dudes I've ever seen. Yeah. Just hugging Bryant, and Bryant loves it. All the fans are crowding around us, and yeah.
I can see why this is high up in your list. Number 3 against Tennessee. They did come in heavily favored, didn't they?
Yeah.
How dare they? To Williams-Brice. It takes courage to do that.
Right.
And yeah, the fans stormed the field afterwards. How many field stormings have you seen? They're not that common, are they?
Probably 6 or 7 over the past 20 years. When they stormed the field, I think it was last year. I I kind of got run over in this field storming in 2022. I was in the end zone, and the crowd kind of carried me all the way out to the 40-yard line. My feet weren't even touching the ground. And, all the students were extremely nice. They kept asking me, "Do you need to get out? Are you okay?" I'm fine. This is fine. And,
I wonder what would happen if you said yes. I'd like to leave.
Right? Yeah. Right. Not much they could do, but it was nice of them to ask. And I'm of course carrying my huge 30-pound football lens over my shoulder as I'm getting carried and swept away by the crowd.
Is it really that? Is it 30 pounds?
Yeah, yeah, it's heavy, yeah.
That's a weight.
It is.
So hang on a minute. They're surging you forward.
Yep.
Right.
I've got 2 other cameras as well on my shoulders, so yeah.
So hang on a minute. They surge. Is this photograph, this number 3, is this taken prior to your bodily movement into the surge or after?
This is after I get carried out to the 40-yard line, yeah.
So this is like an in-action shot for you.
Yeah.
And you just ended up here.
Right.
You really had no choice about being there.
Yeah. I couldn't really choose who was next to me, and these 2 folks just happened to be right next to me. Made a cool photo.
That makes an absolutely cool story, right?
For
I
sure.
mean, that kind of captures stuff.
Yep. So the next time they stormed the field, I went up to that circular concourse walkway that overlooks the where the visitors come out before the game, and shot from up there so I wouldn't get trampled again. Yeah.
I've never been, and obviously as a faculty member at this university, will never be part of a field storming.
Oh, sure.
Tell me what it's like. I mean, is it unnerving?
Yeah, it's a little scary to see a bunch of people running at you. Yeah.
Yeah,
but you can feel the excitement. It's fun too. So
I know, but I mean, here you are being carried along on this kind of tsunami of
That's
people.
right. Yeah.
What happens if you fall over? I mean,
yeah, I've seen people fall over, and thankfully, people help them back up so they didn't get trampled.
that's Southern courtesy.
That's
right.
right. Yes.
There.
Yes.
Right there.
I've heard. The other way, people fall down and they don't get seen and they get trampled. So, yeah, you don't want that.
Have you been on the field when the goalposts have been taken down?
They take them. The school takes them down.
Okay.
They automatically lower down to the ground.
Oh, right.
To avoid being torn down.
Have we never had that at Williams-Brice?
I don't remember when they started doing the automatic goalposts coming down. It's been at least 7 or 8 years since.
Right.
But when I was at Georgia, they 1 year they beat Tennessee similarly, and the fans stormed the field, and they did tore down the goalposts. This was before this new technology, and I spent the rest of the night chasing students carrying sections of the goalpost down Main Street in Athens. you get this call, and the goalpost is being carried down Athens. Of course, you get out of Main Street, and it's long gone. And then you get another call. Now it's moving down this street, and you try to chase it.
See, that's an interesting question, isn't it? Because, I'm sure this technology to automatically lower goalposts is not cheap, right?
Right, for sure.
So I guess if the school doesn't have it and they win a big game, well, I'm thinking of Vanderbilt last year, right?
Right, yeah.
Because they carried the goalpost to the river.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah. I guess
because they win so infrequently.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. I was trying to put it delicately.
Well, I mean,
they don't have to worry about it too often.
Great school, love the Commodores.
That's
I'm
right.
just saying, invest in some automatic
That's right.
goalposts if you're going to continue your trajectory.
I'm
of
sure
winning.
it's a liability issue because you got kids climbing on the goalposts and trying to pull it. Other people are trying to pull it down onto a crowd while they're on top of the goalposts. It could be a disaster.
Somewhere around the vicinity of Columbia, South Carolina, is a remnant of a goalpost that was taken down many years ago, I'm sure. All right, so that was number 3. We've done 5, 4, 3. Your number 2 favorite of all time.
Yes, so this is Coach Beamer. He's celebrating beating Missouri in 2024. 2024 was a challenging season in a lot of ways. So when they beat Missouri, that was a big deal. And he's holding the Mayor's Cup. It was given to the winner of the South Carolina-Missouri game because they are both based in the city of Columbia in their respective states. So
I did not know that.
It's called the Mayor's Cup. Yeah.
Well, that is it. So I see the cup and I thought, what cup is that? And I had no idea that is the Mayor's Cup. That just goes to show you how little I know.
Right.
And so this was not a pitch invasion, was it? This was not a field invasion.
No. This is him. The student section is directly behind me. So I've kind of, after 25 years of doing this, I kind of have a sense of where they're going to run when they're celebrating.
Yeah.
So student section is the first place to go. So rather than try and go to him and then follow him around, I try to go to where he's going to go.
Yeah.
And then let him run to me. So I'm standing at the baseline in the end zone, knowing he's about to run to me, and he does. And then he was maybe a foot away from me as I got my camera right in his face.
Does he know to run to you?
He knows to run to the student section. Yeah, he's not running to me to get his photo taken. But
you're in the middle.
Yeah.
Has he seen this picture? Do you know?
I don't know. He's never mentioned it, but it got widespread, so I'd imagine he's seen it.
It's a fantastic picture. I mean, that is pure joy right there.
And I don't have a dog in the fight as to whether they win or lose, but I enjoy photographing him because he's emotional. He's either angry, which makes good photos, or he's happy, which makes good photos.
Well, hang on a minute, Jeff. You just said you don't have a dog in the fight, but you do have a dog in the fight, right?
D-A-W-G, yeah.
So, okay, when we play Georgia here, tell me about your feelings on those games.
It's complicated. You know, I'm being an objective journalist, so I don't let it affect my coverage, and no one would ever see me outwardly cheering or anything like that because I need to remain objective and appear objective. But inside I'm like yes or no. But you know, I got to do my job, and that job is to tell the story of the game. You know, no matter who is winning and who is losing.
Yes. So when did we last play Georgia here?
Oh, that's a good question. It's been 2 or 3 years.
Did we win? When I say we, I mean Carolina.
I believe Georgia won, but I don't quote me on that. I don't remember. Yeah.
Huh. See, that's your objectivity right there.
That's right.
You don't remember.
More my old age and all the 25 years of football. All
I think I'm going to interpret that as pure journalistic objectivity. I don't remember. That's a good deposition answer, that one.
Right.
All right, Jeff. So we've gone through 5, 4, 3, and 2.
Yep.
This is your number one of all time for Gamecock football, at least till this moment in time, because
that's right.
We have a season coming up.
Right.
Tell us about this picture.
This is former quarterback Connor Shaw. He'd done a long run, and he's diving across the goal line for a touchdown against Missouri. And this one has a lot of personal meaning to me because back in the day, being a sports photographer and being published in Sports Illustrated was like the peak of your life.
And what year was this?
I don't remember exactly.
It's got to be a few years ago.
Yeah, at least 13, 14 years ago. Yeah, I don't remember when he.
So this got picked up in Sports Illustrated.
Yep, they were doing a big. This was the high point of the Spurrier years when they were doing real well, and Sports Illustrated was doing a big story on the Gamecocks, and this was the photo that they chose to ran at one.
Wow.
Ran one full page, and yeah.
Wow, Jeff, that is a real compliment.
Yeah. And then my wife Meg ended up working in the insurance business with Connor Shaw, along with Tommy Shaw. No relation. They all ended up working at the same insurance company. So
is that right?
Yeah.
So it's a highly personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I get that. So when I asked you to choose your favorite 5, I didn't give you any criteria. It's basically what you like.
Hang on, I said Tommy Shaw. That's the singer of Styx. I meant Tommy Suggs.
Tommy Suggs. Oh, yeah, right. So, okay. And so, but part of the identifying the favorite isn't just the aesthetic of it. Isn't just the storytelling behind it. It's also personal, right?
Right. For sure.
I mean, this kind of resonates with you on a couple of levels. Professionally, to get into Sports Illustrated is, a very nice thing indeed, right?
Yeah.
So, and he goes on to play for the NFL, right? Cleveland Browns?
Yep. He got drafted by the Browns,
Yeah, I always liked him. He's a very nice person, and hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
And certainly this photograph in particular captures just how good he is. All right, Jeff, if people need to get hold of you, how best to do that?
I'm on Instagram. It's Jeff Blake Photog with a G at the end there.
Okay.
My email is jeff@jeffblakephoto.com.
Okay.
And my website is www.jeffblakephoto.com. Those are the best ways to reach me and see my work.
Okay. Well, there's a lot to see. You're an extremely talented man and a kind individual, and I can't thank you enough for sharing this and for being on Take on the South.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
That was our take on the South. Let us know yours. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at U of SC South. Be sure to click and subscribe. Take on the South is produced by the Institute for Southern Studies and the McCausland College of Arts and Sciences at the University of South Carolina. Special thanks to Professor Dave Garner of the University of South Carolina School of Music for composing our soundtrack. Tune in next time for another Take on the South.